little walk on the trail. Guess I'll talk about anxiety and other overwhelming emotions and kind of how to, hey, at least how I deal with that, is that, you know, we're not the emotions. We're not the mind bubbling up with these emotions. This is all from the chemical soup that is our chemical system. But we're not this chemical soup. When these emotions bubble up, you just look at them, just watch them really close, and just like a cloud, as you watch them, they change shape and they dissipate and they disappear. You see that they're not you. And the more we identify with these things, the more they have a grip on us, like a dream. When we're having a dream, a lot of times we're completely identified with the dream state. And so we can't see that it's a dream necessarily until you disidentify with the dream state, and then you can say, oh, this is a dream. This was only a dream, and now that I see that it's a dream, I can make the dream whatever I want it to be. Same with anxiety or any overwhelming emotion. As soon as we disidentify with them, they no longer can hold us. And we see that they never actually touch us. When we're in the state, it feels like it's all over us, it's running through our veins. And chemically, that might be true for a moment. But when you see it, and you disidentify, those things can't have control over our experience. And in a lot of ways, if we give these emotions a foothold, they're more likely to stay around. When we give them attention, they stick around. And in part, these things come to test you. Can you transcend them? The hard times come for an opportunity to look at it and say, wait a second, that's not me. And it never was. As long as you hold that, it never will be. These things come to teach us something. Just like a blissful state comes to teach us something. And even the blissful state isn't what we are. We're beyond bliss. We're beyond anguish. We're beyond duality. We're beyond the dream. We're the blue sky seemingly behind the clouds. But to the blue sky was never behind the clouds. It's always the blue sky. And sometimes these clouds, a storm, a strong wind pushes these clouds in front of the blue sky. What an amazing show. And the blue sky watches these clouds as they change and morph and then cease to be. Same is true of our identity, the way that the mind sees it. It's like that cloud. Over a span of a lifetime, how we identify ourselves is constantly changing. Every few years, we're a different version of ourselves. Constantly changing. Until one day, that cloud of a personality ceases to be. And we may come back for another round. We may have learned or discovered what we came here to discover. But this doesn't have to wait to the end of your physical life. This can happen now in this very moment. That doesn't mean your personality goes away. It just means that it's not how you identify yourself anymore. You've discovered something deeper. Something vast and endless. And you see that this life, this personality is such a tiny aspect of what there is. We can use these heavy emotional states to look from this deeper space. That sees everything. From asking the question, who am I? What am I? This deeper space can be discovered. By searching the source of your visual perception. The infinite. Is seen to be always there. Never changing. Beyond change. Beyond anything that we could ever conceptualize or dream of. It's beyond anything the mind is capable of grasping. And this discovery isn't an achievement. It's not an attainment. It's a pure knowing, knowingness. Not something that knows something, but knowing itself. Knowing. Geese. Wow. When these physical and chemical things of emotion and anxiety, fear rise up, you can use your perception to look at it and see what do these things actually arise from? What is this experience arising from? A solid nothingness, a non-thing. We live in a world of things, but what we are is a non-thing. Beyond any practice or discipline, beyond anything, we're always the non-thing. You can't see this non-thing because you are that non-thing. Everything that has perception is this non-thing. Me, you, the birds, the geese, the trees, the planet, the rocks, the sun. Every being that ever lived, every soul in heaven and in hell, be unbound. You are this non-thing forever and beyond. I love you. Infinite blessings and love. Peace.